So, just like many of you, I'm getting ready to travel next week. And besides just figuring out what to pack and what the weather might be at my destination, a concern that a lot of travelers are having right now, in the US specifically because of our partial government shutdown, is what's happening at the airport. So, let's give a quick report on what's happening and what you need to do. So, due to the partial government shutdown, there are only essential workers right now being paid. So, as far as airports go, the start of your cruise or your travel destination is right now air traffic controllers are fully funded. They are considered essential workers. They are on the job and they are being paid. So any flight delays or cancellations are generally not being affected by the air traffic controllers. Where the issues come in is that TSA, the Transportation and Safety Administration, they are not considered to be essential workers, so that they are currently not being paid. So when you get to the airport, there are still security officers, there is still TSA lines, but those workers are not being paid. So they are working without pay. So how does that affect you as a traveler? So I'm sure, as you can imagine, would you want to be working without pay month after month? So what that means is that a lot of the TSA workers are doing sick outs. They're calling in, they're not getting paid anyway, so it's really a form of protest. Others are just downright quitting. 300 plus TSA security people have just left their jobs. They're not getting paid. They need to go find work elsewhere to help support their families. So as you can imagine, the effects of this are really being felt because it is important for us as travelers to know that TSA is still running, is still happening. But with reduced staff, it really does mean that some of the long lines are even longer than they were before. So there are certain airports that are more affected than others, really just by the volume of travelers. So I think that it's important, very important, that you listen closely and follow these recommendations. So although I do have clients from all over the country, most of my clients are here in Georgia, and that means that they are flying into and out of Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, which is the busiest airport in the world based on passenger volume. So if you think that the busiest airport in the world was already crazy, with now a lesser presence of TSA security, you can imagine these delays we're seeing are really absolutely epic. So flights are running, things are trying to be on time, but if TSA is really backed up and they're holding planes at the gates, that can affect the schedule because it takes much longer to go through these lines at TSA. So what the recommendations currently are, and it has changed quite a bit from what we have seen in the past. They are recommending for domestic flights, a flight that takes off and lands within the United States, that you arrive 2 to 3 hours early. Now, that used to be the recommendation for international flights, and now that is the recommendation for domestic flights as well. So if you are thinking that you're going to just hop to the airport, park, get through security, and run to your gate in 60 minutes, you are going to miss your flight. We are seeing TSA times running 1 hour, 2 hours. At peak times, it has been even more than that. So don't take the risk. Arrive 2 to 3 hours early. If you can get there 3, do it. There's plenty of seating. There's plenty of things for you to do, plenty of coffee places. Bring a book, audiobook, whatever it is that you keep busy with before your vacation. Skip the stress of last minute trying to get through that TSA. Come and arrive early. Now, for my passengers on international flights, they are still saying 3 hours. So I think that it's important to know that in a lot of instances, that the international security line is considerably lesser than the domestic. There are literally fewer passengers going through the international terminals, so that means that those lines many times are going to be shorter. But how do you know? How do you know what those lines look like? Here's some information you're going to want to write down. So my passengers here in Georgia going in and out of Hartsfield-Jackson International, you're simply going to go to atl.com. That is the official website of the airport. And if you scroll down just below the big banner and below the weather report, you're going to find a nice tile that will take you directly to TSA. And the TSA will give you wait times in all of the different areas, tell you what is open, what is closed, and what the current wait times are. Now, current wait time is only good information if you know it ahead of time. So my suggestion is that before you travel, the week before, 2 weeks before, think about what your flight time is. What time do you think you're going to want to arrive at the airport? And on that day, at that time, the week or 2 weeks before, I want you to go onto the website and I want you to check what the TSA wait times currently are. Now, there's no guarantee that your wait times will be the same, but it's a great indicator of what your wait time might be. So make sure that you are checking before you go. And you can do this at any airport. It's not just the atl.com. So you can go on wherever you are, clients, or people watching this video, you can find the official website of your particular airport where you think you're going to be flying into or out of. And you can check what TSA wait times look like for you. Now, they have Facebook pages, Instagram, but I do think the quickest way to do it is to go directly to the website because you don't know what the updates are going to be. The actual for atl.com, when you check the TSA line, it gives you that timing. It actually auto refreshes every 15 seconds. So that is really the absolute fastest information that you can get. So here's the good news. Flights are still running. They are running at the standard on-time percentages that we've seen before. Where the delays are happening is in the security check line. So be prepared. Make sure that you don't have anything that you're not supposed to have in your carry-on luggage. Get there 2 to 3 hours early for domestic flights. Pack your patience and be nice to these people. They are working without pay to make sure that you are safe in the air. So I think that we can still say travel is happening. It just means that you need to give yourself a little bit of extra time. So I love giving you information like this. And if you are a client, then you're going to get this information, this type of information from me all the time. So reach out to me if you would. Hey, like, comment, and share. Comment right below here. I love to see what you have to say about my videos. I think that travel is something that we all aspire to and that we want to do. And I do my best to make it easier for you. Brenda at Adventure Way Travels. I'd love to chat with you.